Some strange results over in the Champions League last time around, as of course PSG and Manchester United both failed to win. But will they bounce back in match number 2? We'll take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks, back once again in a prediction video today. We look forward to match day number 2 in the UEFA Champions League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, get your bang up to date with all things Champions League related, Blackburn Rovers related, football related. We're gonna know here, boys. Under one Ruski, that's right, of course. PSG, Messi and all couldn't get off to a flyer up against Club Brugge, and of course Manchester United with Ronaldo failed to beat young boys Bayern. Goodness gracious me! But what about match number 2? Have they got something in their locker to get themselves back in the thick of things? We'll take a look at that and more, of course, in just a second. A big shout out to my BR and they are my Patreons. Big shout out to you guys, my brothers from another mother. Big shout out. You are my best mates for life. If you want to become a native's best mate for life, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Robertseas. But anyway, let's get in the deep end. Of course, it's been busy. It's been busy over in Europe. Of course, no European action last week, but of course a lot of double match weeks. And of course, over in England we had the old Calamata Cup. But next week, of course, the week coming will be the return of the Champions Bloody League. That's right. So here we go. Let's take a look back at those games last week, last time around in match number 1. Kicking it off with Manchester City, they did get a good win over RB Leipzig, 6-3, 9-goal through. They're going in favour of our Manchester City. I went with a 3-0 win. And as you can see here, Club Brugge picked up a massive draw against PSG. Of course, kind of turn this group maybe on its head a little bit, give Manchester City the favourite, but of course they'll be locking horns with PSG in match number 2, so we'll see how that pans out shortly. Meanwhile, over in Group B, it's Atletico Madrid against Porto, end up all square, 0-0. Good point that is on the road for Porto. Meanwhile, Liverpool made it a scrappy affair against AC Milan, 3-2 in the end, 5-goal thriller there. Beşiktaş did lose to Dortmund at home. Of course, the Germans probably the favourites of this group. Sporting did get battered by Ajax at home as well. FC Sheriff got himself a fantastic win. Let's give a round of applause, guys. I didn't think they'd win anything at this one, but of course, massive win for them over Shakhtar Donetsk. I think they actually top the group at the moment, so take a picture, put it in your phone, because I don't think it's going to be there for much longer. Meanwhile, International against Real Madrid, 1-0 win for Real Madrid on the road. Again, big win for them as well to probably put them in the ascendancy in this group. Of course, International got all to do in the return fixture then. Of course, one of the games of the weekend, or the week last time, was of course Barcelona against Bayern. And of course, it was a comfortable win for Bayern, because Barcelona are a little bit toothless these days. Check it out over in La Liga. They are struggling. I think they might find themselves a little bit in a bit of hot water in this group. Benfica will give them a run for the money, so I do anticipate a bit of a tough few matches for Barcelona, a tough season. Of course, the first without Messi. Dinamo Kiev against Benfica was a 0-0 bloody draw. Probably a good result that for Benfica. Of course, one of the shocks of the week was this one. Young Boys Bern, 2-1 win over Manchester United. Ronaldo did score, but of course Young Boys Bern fought back. I think at the back end of that game, didn't they? 2-1 win to take it in the house. Of course, Villarreal and Atalanta drew 2-2 in the end. Sevilla against Salzburg was a 1-1 draw. That one's probably a surprise on that one for Sevilla at home as well. You'd think they would win this one. I went with a 2-0 win myself. We were Lille against Wolfsburg, also went out all square, as that group is wide open. I cannot decide it myself. And then of course Chelsea did beat Zenit, just the 1-0 at home. And of course Juventus got themselves a 3-0 win on the road over in Sweden, of course, to get themselves doing well in this competition. Of course, struggling a little bit over in Serie A, but it is early days. So let's take a look at the prediction league. Of course, it is wide open, and of course, kicking ass to take names. This Kevin Wright got himself 11 picks out. How many did I get? Let's go back here. I got myself 1, 2. Not great at all. Not great at all. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got myself 6, which is pretty average. It's actually pretty shit compared to you guys. You're showing off there. Kevin Wright with 11, Evan Stringer at 10, Shane O'Donnell with 10, and Mr. Austin also up there in 10. Of course, it is early doors. Get yourself in it next time around. Of course, you could still be in it. We're going to be doing it all the way through to the final as well. So at the moment, Kevin Wright is kicking ass and taking names. But what about the tables? This is what they look like at the moment. Of course, Manchester City are leading the charts. PSG are second, believe it or not. Meanwhile, over in Group B, it's Liverpool running away with it at the moment. Atletico Madrid and Porto level on 1 point. In Group C, it's Ajax at the moment with that goal difference leading the charge. Dortmund are in second, so those two are probably going to be edging managing it for the time being. Over in Group D, like I said, take a picture, Sheriff. It is, you are top of the pops at the moment over Real Madrid. Goal difference giving the massive boost to you guys there. International will crash into the Europa League, I think, or maybe in the Conference League, I don't even know. And then, of course, in Group E is Bayern at the moment, Benfica in second, and of course, Barcelona are rooted to the bottom. Group F has Young Boys burn top, Manchester United bottom, Atalanta are in second. As in Group G, we have Salzburg leading the charge against all level pegging here. Salzburg and Sevilla at the moment, technically, on a technicality, they are top in Group G. And of course, Juventus and Chelsea, both clean sheets, both have got themselves off to a win as well. But of course, we've got the next round of matches right here, right now. Of course, if you want to get involved, use the link, cut/UCL picks. That's the static link there. So go get involved. So let's take a look at it then, shall we? Of course, games coming at you. Archer ears over on the days of Tuesday 28th and Wednesday 29th. We're going to kick it all off with the banger, probably the game of the round. It is Lionel Messi, it is Pep Guardiola, it is PSG up against Manchester City over at the Parc des Princes. That's right, played each other 5 times in 2008. No wins for Paris Saint-Germain on this one. 3 wins for City and 2 draws. However, PSG coming to winning 5 of the past 6 games. Meanwhile, also City coming to winning 5 of the past 6 games. Both coming into this 92% form, of course, on this one. Last time played each other over in the Parc des Princes was a 2-1 win for Manchester City. That was in the Champions League semi-final, which of course Manchester City went on through to the final, but of course lost to Chelsea last season. Of course, Manchester City coming to the back of that 6-1 win over Wickham in the Carabao Cup. Meanwhile, PSG coming to us on the back of that win over Metz. I'm not sure. I don't think Messi's available for this one, so it kind of takes a little bit of the flavour out of this. The odds on this one, we do have PSG 90-10 for the Richie, 27-20 is your Manchester City, and 5-2 is your draw. I don't think Paris Saint-Germain will lose this one. I've gone with a 3-2 win for them. Manchester City, despite that 6-1 win prior to that, they could only muster a draw against the Saints, so they need a response. Was that response against Wickham, or is the response going to be this weekend? Of course, they are taking on Chelsea this weekend, so you know what? I think they're going to lose one of these games. It could be the Chelsea game, it could be this one. But I've gone 3-2 win in the end for PSG. Next up, we have RB Leipzig. They're going to be taking on, of course, Club Brugge in that same group. That is of course, Group A. These two sides have played each other no times. It'll be the first time that they locked horns over at the Red Bull Arena over in Leipzig, of course. Leipzig coming to just 1 win in the past 6. Meanwhile, Club Brugge just 1 defeat in the past 6. Philippe Clement is your manager over there, Jesse Marsch over in Leipzig. Leipzig coming to on the back of that draw against Köln. Meanwhile, Bruges coming to the back of the win over Charleroi. Of course, before this match, Bruges will take on Udo Hervey over in the Juniper League. Meanwhile, Leipzig will take on Hertha Berlin this coming weekend over in the Bundesliga. Look at the odds on this one. We have 50-8 on is your Leipzig. The high favourite, 7-2 is your draw, and 5-1 is your Club Bruges on this. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Leipzig on this one. They've been shit so far in the Bundesliga. They've been shit so far in the Champions League. I think they'll get the win here, and of course kick on from there onwards and upwards. Next up, of course, we have Porto up against Liverpool over in Group B, Estadio de Dragao. Played 7 times in 2004, just 1 win for Porto, 4 wins for Liverpool, and 2 draws. Of course, Porto coming to just 1 unbeaten in the last 6. Meanwhile, Liverpool coming to unbeaten in the last 6. However, Liverpool have actually won 4 on the bounce. The biggest win for Porto, in fact, was a 1-0 win. Meanwhile, the biggest win for Liverpool over Porto was a 5-0 win. Of course, last time over in Porto was a 4-1 win for Liverpool in the Champions League 2019. It was the quarter-final stage. Was that the year that they won? It could have been. Of course, Porto coming to the back of the win over Moreirense. Meanwhile, Liverpool coming to the back of the win over Norwich in the Carabao Cup. Of course, Liverpool will take on Brentford this weekend. Porto will take on Vicente Barcelos as well. But I do anticipate a tight one there. 10-3 is your Porto, 11-8 on is your Liverpool, and 3-1 is your draw. I've actually gone with a draw, I think, on this 1-1 in the end. Point split right down the bloody middle. Meanwhile, same group would be AC Milan up against Atlético Madrid. This is such a killer group. This one played each other 2 times in 2014. 2 wins out of 2 for Atlético, of course. Nothing for Milan. The biggest win for Atlético was a 4-1 win. Milan coming to just 1 defeat in the past 6. Meanwhile, Atlético coming to unbeaten in the last 6 games. However, both on 75% form, and what that means is they've both picked up around about the same amount of points in the last 6 games. Atletico kind of falling back with a lot of draws. 3 wins, 3 draws. Meanwhile, Milan have actually won 4 times and drawn just the once. Of course, the last time I played over in Milan was a 1-0 win for Atletico. That was back in February 2014. It could have been the year. Did they win the Champions League recently? Anyway, Milan did play Venezia this midweek, and of course they won 2-0. Of course, Atletico took on Getafe, and they also won 2-1 last round. They all take on Alaves this weekend. Milan will take on Spezia. Both sides are expected to win those games. 50-8 on is your AC Milan. They are your underdogs on this one. 64 is your Atletico, 11-5 is your draw. I've gone with a 2-1 win for the hosts on this one. Maybe a surprise, I don't know. Next up, of course, Ajax up against Beşiktaş. It is, of course, the Dutchies up against the Turkish. They're familiar opponents, international. They've been locking horns quite recently, I think in the respective groups. But anyway, they've never played each other, of course, in European level. Of course, Ajax coming to this 5 wins on the bounce. Meanwhile, Beşiktaş coming in just 1 defeated past 6 for them. Of course, that's 92% form for the Dutchies. 5 wins on the bounce, 92% form. Of course, they did come into. They've actually scored a whole buttload of goals. 19 goals in the last 3 games, conceding just the 1 in 3. Meanwhile, Beşiktaş coming in on the back of a 3-3 draw against Adana over in the Superliga over in Turkey. Ajax will take on Groningen this weekend. Of course, Beşiktaş will take on Atlético on this one. Again, both the odds on those two sides are in favour of these representatives here in the Champions League. So they're both expected to win. Coming into this, 92-1 is your Ajax. They are your red hot favourites. 12-1 is your draw. Sorry, 12-1 is your away win. 11-2 is your draw. So Ajax should win this one. I've gone with a 2-0 win. A rudimentary win for them to get the W. Next, of course, same group. It'll be Dortmund up against Sporting. Of course, that's right. Dortmund slowly climbing the table over in the Bundesliga. These two sides played each other 2 times in 2016. 2 wins out of 2. For Dortmund, they've actually won 4 in the bouts. And of course, the biggest win over Sporting was a 1-0 win. Sporting coming to us. Just 1 win in 4 for them, 67% form. However, just 1 defeat past 6 if you want to look at it a little bit more differently. Last time played in Dortmund was in fact that 1-0 win. It was in the Champions League. It was in the group stages. That was back in 2016. Dortmund coming to us on the back of that win against Union Berlin in the Bundesliga, and of course Sporting Lisbon coming to us on the back of that winning over Estoril over in the Portuguese Premier League, whatever. They'll take on Marítimo Madeira this weekend. Of course, Dortmund take on Gladbach in a game which could go either way. They are the favourites, though. Of course, both these two sides are the favourites for the weekend. The odds on this one: 3-1 on is your is your Dortmund. Of course, 3-1 on. Sorry, 8-1 is your long shot at Sporting, and 92 is your draw. I've gone with the bookies on this one, 3-0 win to take it to the house. Next up we have Shakhtar Donetsk. They're going to be taking on Internazionale. That's over in Ukraine. Of course, these two sides played each other 5 times in the past. 2 wins for Internazionale, nothing for Shakhtar, and 3 draws. Shakhtar coming to just 1 defeat past 6. Meanwhile, Internazionale coming to on the back of 1 defeat at the past 6 as well. Just slightly better form, 75% form compared to Shakhtar's 67. Of course, these two sides last played each other over in Shakhtar. That was a 0-0 draw back in October 2020. In fact, they played each other, of course, twice in the Champions League last season, and they both ended up 0-0. So, of course, you know what, this group could be a little bit spicy. Of course, Shakhtar coming to us on the back of their win over Kiev, Dinamo Kiev, last time around. I'm not even sure what that game was. Super Cup it was. Meanwhile, Internazionale coming to us on the back of their win over Fiorentina. Meanwhile, heading into the weekend, of course, Internazionale will take on Atalanta. Tough game for them, but they're anticipated to win. Meanwhile, Shakhtar will take on maybe Ravine. Again, I'm sure they anticipate to win that game as well. Look at the odds on this one. What do we have? 4-1 on your Shakhtar. Of course, 20-11 on is your Internazionale. 7-2 is your draw. I've got with a draw on this one. Again, following the recent events between these two sides. The last 2, in fact, 3 of the last 4 of these matches between these two sides have ended up all square. So I'm going with another one on this one. Draw to take it to the bank. Next up, we have Real Madrid against Sheriff of Tiraspol. They're going to have a field day here. Sheriff of Tiraspol going to the Santiago Bernabeu. They never played each other, of course, but coming into this Real Madrid, 5 wins on the bounce, 92% form. Meanwhile, Tiraspol coming to this, 4 wins out of the past 5 games. 83% form, of course. They do come into us on the back of a 4-0 win over FC Floresti, of course, over in the domestic flight, over in Moldova. Is that what it is? Is it Moldova? I think it's Moldova. As for Real Madrid, coming on the back of their win over Mallorca, 6-1 win. Of course, this weekend they'll take on Villarreal, expected to win that game. Meanwhile, I don't know if they postponed the game, but the Tiraspol was going to take on Dinamo Porto, but I'm not sure if it's going to go ahead or not, or if we just don't have odds. But I'm sure they anticipate to win that game as well. Of course, 9-1 on is your Real Madrid, 18-1 is your long shots, that's 0 for Tiraspol, and 9-1 is your draw. Going to go with the win, big win for Real Madrid on this one to kind of bring Sheriff of Tiraspol back down to earth. And of course, where do we go? Into Wednesday's games now. It will be Barcelona going to Benfica. That's right. Of course, this is on Wednesday, 29th of September. They played each other 4 times. 2006, 2 wins out of 2 wins for Barcelona. Nothing for Benfica, and 2 draws. Of course, Benfica, though, coming to this 4 wins in the past 6 games. Meanwhile, Barcelona without a win in 3. In fact, just 1 win in 5 in all competitions. Of course, last time played each other over in Portugal. It was a 2-0 win for Barcelona. That was back in October 2012 in the Champions League as well. Of course, Benfica coming to us on the back of their win over Boavista. Barcelona coming to us on the back of that draw against Cadiz. They're taking Levante this weekend. They're anticipated to win. As for Benfica, they're anticipated to win over Guadamares on the road as well. Look at the odds on this one. We have, what do we have on this one? 9-5 is your Benfica, 64 is your away win. That's Barcelona, and 12-5 is your draw. Going to go with the 2-1 for Barcelona, even though I think it could be a draw. I think it might be a draw, but I'm just going to give it to them, just the edge. Next up, of course, Bayern up against Dinamo Kiev, played each other over the Allianz Arena. They've never played each other, according to my knowledge, over recent times anyway, but Bayern coming to this skateboard and all, and it is, of course, 100% form, 6 wins out of bounce. Meanwhile, Kiev coming coming to this on the back of just one defeat in the past 6. Of course, that one defeat was against Shakhtar over in the Super Cup over in Ukraine. They'll take on Ruku Lviv this weekend, and I'm probably expected to win. Meanwhile, Bayern coming to this on the back of a 7-0 loss. 7-0 win over Bochum. In fact, they've scored 14 goals the last 3 games, conceding just the 1. They'll take on Greuther Fürth this weekend, and of course, they're expected to hit big on that one as well. Let's take a look at the odds on this one. We have Bayern coming at you. Where are you? Yeah, 10-1 on for the Bayern, 22-1. 22-1 long shots this time. Kiev, and 91 is your draw. Bayern will win this one 3-0, and it could be more than that. Next up, we have Atalanta. They're going to be taking on Young Boys Bern. That's right, coming at you. Also on Wednesday, 29th. And then play each other, of course, heading into this one. Atalanta coming to this, just want to beat about 6. Meanwhile, Young Boys Bern winning 4, and their bounce. Of course, Young Boys Bern did beat Lausanne on last time around over in Switzerland, 6-1 win. They've actually scored 13 goals in 2 matches. Absolutely insane. As for Atalanta, back-to-back wins for them. Picking up a win against Salernitana and South Studio. They're going to take on Internazionale this weekend. They're expected to lose. However, Young Boys Bern take on St. Gallen, expected to win. Look at this one. 2-1 on is your Atalanta. 11-2 is your Young Boys Bern, and 7-2 is your draw. Going to go with a win for the Atalanta on this one, even though Young Boys Bern are kicking ass and scoring about a load of goals. Next up, of course, Manchester United taking on Villarreal. Good evening, good evening. That's right, of course, it is the welcome return of Unai Emery to England. Played each other 5 times in 2005, just 1 win for Villarreal and 4 draws. Wow, wow, wee wow. Of course, United coming to this, just 1 win in 3. Villarreal coming to this, just 1 win in 6. A lot of draws knocking around for them. Last time played each other, of course, was that Super Europa Cup final. Of course, Villarreal did win 11-10 on penalties. Meanwhile, coming into this, last time played each other over in Old Trafford was a 0-0 draw. In fact, yeah, like I said, they've never beaten them. Manchester United never beaten Villarreal. Of course, they're coming to this on the back of that loss against West Ham. They'll take on Aston Villa this weekend, and then, of course, United are anticipated to win. Meanwhile, Villarreal coming to this on the back of that win over Elche. They'll take on Real Madrid this weekend. They're anticipated to lose that game. Of course, coming into some of the odds on this one, we have 9-4 on is your United, 5-1 is your long shots, Villarreal, and 50-4 is your draw. I'm going to go with big on United, 3-1 win to take it to the house. It is Salzburg up against it is Lille. That's right, on the 29th of September. That's coming this Wednesday. Never played each other, of course, heading into this one. Salzburg coming to this winning 5 of the past 6 games, 92% form. Meanwhile, Lille just 1 win in 4 for them. Of course, when they did beat Reims last time around. Of course, Salzburg coming to this on the back of an 8-0 win over Karlsdorf in the Austrian Cup round 2. Of course, it's actually been back-to-back clean sheets for them. They'll take on Wolfsburger in the Bundesliga this weekend, and they anticipate to win that game. Meanwhile, Lille will take on Strasbourg, and they're only narrowly about favourites to win that game. Look at the odds. 20-19 on is your Salzburg, 30-5 is your away win. That's Lille, 40-5 is your draw. Salzburg are your favourites here. I've gone with it as well. 2-1 win to take it to the bank. And then, of course, Wolfsburg will take on Sevilla. Of course, it's Bundesliga up against La Liga. Also on Wednesday, 29th, the Volkswagen Arena. Never play each other, of course, heading into this. Both sides coming to this on 75% form, which means winning 3 and drawing 3 of the last 6 games. Of course, Wolfsburg coming to this on the back of a 1-1 draw against Frankie. Meanwhile, Sevilla coming to this on the back of the win over Valencia. Of course, Sevilla will take on Espanyol this weekend, anticipated to win. Wolfsburg coming to this up against, they'll take on Hoffenheim this weekend. They're just about to win, narrowly, I guess, with the odds on this one. It's 6-4 is your Wolfsburg, 9-5 is your Sevilla. Could go either way. 2-2 draw for me, right down the middle. And into the final 2 now is Zenit up against Malmö over in Mother Russia. That's right. These 2 sides have played each other. According to my eyes, never played each other, of course, but they come into, they're both going to be wearing blue, according to my information. Of course, heading into this, St. Petersburg just lost once in the past 6. Meanwhile, Malmö just won once in the past 6 games, of course. Malmö comes on the back of a win against Elfsborg. They'll take on Oribo this weekend. They anticipate to beat them, of course. As for St. Petersburg, they come on the back of a win over Rubin Kazan. They're going to be taking on Kila Sovitov over in Russia as well this weekend. Again, anticipate to win this game. Look at the odds on this one. We have Zenit to 50-8 on for the victory. They are your red hot favourites. 5-1 is your long shots. That's Malmö, and 60-5 is your draw. Of course, Zenit will win this one at home. Long way to go for most people, and of course, a long way to lose as well. 3-1 win for Zenit. And then, of course, a bit of a zinger at the end here is Juventus up against Chelsea over at the Allianz Arena over in Juve in Turin. Of course, played each other 4 times in 2009. We have 1 win apiece and 2 draws. The biggest win for Juventus, 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way is a 1-0 win. Juventus coming to this unbeaten last 3 games at long last. As for Chelsea, though, unbeaten last 6, 92% form. Of course, last time played each other over in Turin was a 3-0 win for Chelsea. That was back in November 2012. It was in the Champions League. I was in the group stage because Juventus did take on Spezia in midweek. They won. Meanwhile, Chelsea took on Aston Villa and they won as well against. I didn't see those results in the Carabao Cup. But anyway, 4-3 on penalties over Aston Villa. Rotated squad. Of course, they'll take on Manchester City this weekend. They anticipate to win only just. Juventus will take on Sampdoria this weekend, and of course they anticipate to win that game as well. Odds on this one: 30-5 is your Juventus, 11-10 is your Chelsea, 23-10 is your draw. I'm going to go with a draw right down the middle, right smack dab in the middle. Be sure to get your picks in, of course, for this one using the code UCL Picks. That's right. Of course, they are coming thick and fast. Games all over the place right here at Blackburn OSC. So make sure you smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe, check the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon. Until then, give us some love and smash some love. See ya. I'm out.